let's talk about mohair. I have quite a lot of hair and I want to share with you all my thoughts about those mohair yarns that I've used. Hi there, welcome back to my knitting channel. My name is Alena and here we're talking about everything related to knitting. Today I'm gonna talk about all mohair yarns that I've ever used. And if you're curious, let me know in the comments below, because I have some mohair alternatives that I also used and I can share some thoughts about them. So if you're curious, subscribe and let me know in the comments that we need that kind of video as well. And let's talk about what we have currently. Important note, I have pretty sensitive skin, so take all what I'm talking about with a grain of salt, because something can be too scratchy for me and it can be nice for you. So let's start with one of the most common and popular mohair on the market. This is Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair. I have it in a really nice color, bottle green, and I've knitted my first cardigan with this yarn. It was kind of like a splurge at the very beginning of my knitting journey, but definitely it was worth it. So I knitted cardigan with this yarn I think around 3 years ago, and it still looks quite nice. It's soft, the yarn itself feels soft. In most of the colors you can see that here is silk cord shines just a little bit, but it's colored in a nice way, so you don't have a lot of white silk parts. For example, I have here another silk mohair, and as you can see, here we see a lot of white places, like compared to this one below. But I know that some knitting for the mohair may struggle with the same problem. So, as for shedding, it doesn't shed too much. Yeah, you'll have some fluff flying around, but it's not shedding, like too drastically. It's soft. I can tolerate this mohair on my arms without anything. On my back and on my belly it's better to have something underneath, like tank top, t-shirt, something like that. But tolerating it on my forehead is too complicated. I have Oslo hat knitted with this mohair and Knitting for Olive merino, and I'm struggling. I like this hat so much. I like the color because I knitted it with dusty olive, so you can see it over here. Looks amazing, but my forehead struggles. At the time when I had my bangs, I was able to do kind of like that, and then wear it, and it was kind of possible, but it's really a struggle. So if you're sensitive as me, I can't recommend using this particular yarn for hats, but for other than hats like cardigans or the second strand, I can recommend it. This one may seem like on a higher price point, but I would say that this is probably one of the most well-priced mohairs that you can find currently on the market. The next one that I have for you is also, I think, kind of popular on the market. This is Tynn Silk Mohair by Sandnes Garn. If you're curious, this color is 6046, or I know that's also called jelly beans. This is bright blue. I have a sweater knitted with it. I've knitted 2 sweaters, to be honest, with this yarn, and I've knitted with this color and also with white one, and white one was kind of scratchy. This one feels a little bit better. This one has not a typical content of your silk mohair. This is 57% of mohair, 28% of silk and 15% of wool. So this one will be a little bit more sturdier than usual one. It will hold its shape a little bit better because of the wool content, but also it can be a little bit scratchier just because of that wool content, I guess, because there is no information about what kind of wool added here, so I guess it's not merino, so it's less soft. As for the silk cord, as you can see here, we got we can see just a little bit of it poking. So it also depends on color. As for sensitivity to this one, I wear a sweater knitted with this yarn with kind of a tank top with not too wide straps, and I don't struggle a lot, but I cannot wear it without anything underneath. And when I had sweater with kind of high neck over here, that was a mock neck, it was a little bit too prickly to my neck. But when there is nothing on my neck and I wear a V-neck sweater, it works fine. As for the price point, this one is a little bit cheaper than Knitting for Olive Mohair, but this one is a little bit shorter because over here you have 220 meters and this one is 225 meters. If you'd like to compare them with the amount of fluff, I would say that Knitting for Olive has a little bit more fluff, but this one sheds. When I was knitting with this one, for those tiny... Okay, it can be a little bit challenging episode with my kind of allergy. This mohair was everywhere, like absolutely everywhere in my apartment. On my cats, everything around. So yeah, this one shuts, but so this one shuts, and if I have a choice, I would go with Knitting for Olive and not that one. I really don't understand the hype on this mohair. Just my thought as usual, so I would go with another one. As we started with blues, let's proceed with blues. The next one, blue color that I have, this is Filcolana Tilia, and I have just a small part of it. I don't have color over here, as I don't have this ball band, but let me double check. So the color here is 337, this is a cobalt blue. I think it's a little bit richer than this one, and this one is much softer. Even if I take into hands Tynn Silk by Sandnes Garn and this Tilia, Tilia feels much softer. This cord is dyed quite nicely. There's not a lot of shine of white strands of mohair, but I know that this one may have problems with other colors, so I would recommend to go to the store if you have such opportunity to buy mohair in person, because it may be a little bit problematic. As for shedding, this one may shed as well. It has a lot of fluff, so it sheds quite a lot. This is Knitting for Olive, and it sheds, but not so drastically. I am not sure that you've seen it, but still. As for the softness, I want to wear a hat with this yarn, obviously, but wearing it as a sweater with something underneath can be nice. This one is a little bit cheaper than Tynn Silk and Knitting for Olive, so you can find it a little bit more budget option. And I would say that here the amount of colors can be comparable to Knitting for Olive, because you have a lot of colors over here. But you should also remember that this one is 210 meters, so it will be just a tiny bit shorter than Knitting for Olive. As for wear, this one wears also nicely. I don't have any problems with wearing this silk mohair with Gepard Woolia, and I heard a lot of comments that Gepard Woolia may wears not nicely because of such soft yarn, and this mohair really prevents it from getting unwearable and not nicely. Yeah, it's not bad. I can feel it, but it's not as scratchy for me as Tynn Silk. The next one that I have here is Önling number 10. And I don't know why, but this ball specifically and this dye lot specifically looks for me a little bit like alpaca. there is no shine of silk at all. Like, you know, even, okay, there's a blue part of another mohair. As you can see, there's not a lot of fluff on this one, on the cord itself, but I knitted with it twice, and the first one was much fluffier with a little bit more silk shine. Let me double check if I can show it to you. Let's try it, maybe a little bit problematic, but oh, you know, you cannot see the shine, but that one that I've used for this Elsie vest, it shined a little bit better than this one. I don't know what is the reason. This one, for hand, probably feels like one of the most softest mohairs that I have here. It's the same for the neck. I really almost don't feel it on my neck, which is surprisingly nice. I think that this mohair I may tolerate even on my forehead. Looks strange, but yeah, I don't feel it. I don't find it too scratchy, and I've heard from a lot of people that they find that Önling mohair is a really nice option for its price, because it's not too expensive as some mohairs can be, like Pascuali yarns are usually much more expensive. It feels soft, it also has a lot of colors, and it's not so prickly, so you can wear it with more items. And I have a vest knitted with this yarn. The problem is that it's knitted with wool that's a little bit prickly, so I cannot guarantee that this mohair won't be too scratchy, but from the view and from the feel, like comparing to knitting for olive, this one feels much softer, and it also has 25 grams per 220 meters, and this is a classic one, 70/30. As I mentioned just before, Pascuali mohair, let's go to that one. I have a ball of Pascuali mohair. It looks like this. This is the color 830, and this is one of those mohairs that in 25 grams you will get 300 meters, so this one will give you a much bigger yardage, and this one is 60/40, so you have 60% of mohair and 30% of mulberry silk. It sheds a little bit, but my apartment wasn't in this black mohair, and believe me, black mohair, if it would shed, you'll see it everywhere as well. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to show you about this Önling. It sheds. Yeah, it sheds. This one doesn't shed so much, but no, I think it does the same. I've heard from a lot of people that they find that this one is the softest mohair that they've ever tried. Maybe another color, but my black one feels not so prickly as, for example, Tynn Silk or Knitting for Olive, like Tynn Silk by Sandnes Garn or Knitting for Olive, but they still can start feeling it after some time, while Önling I don't feel for a long time. I can put it to my neck. I've knitted this one, I've used this one for the cardigan together with Tilia, and I have this striped nice cardigan by KD. Just decided to put it, to show it over here. So I've knitted, I've used those two mohairs together so I can compare them, which is really nice, because as you can see, there are a lot of places where I have both mohairs like on the same part. For example, I have both sleeves knitted with different mohairs, so I can show you how does it wear, and I can show you how it wears and how does it peel with wool, because as I mentioned before, wool may peel a lot, and mohair should help preventing this. So this one is with Tilia, like really no peeling. This is the sleeve, so we know that sleeves are probably one of the most prone to peeling places. Maybe under the arm can be a little bit more, but that one definitely peels a lot. And this is black one by Pascuali. As you can see over here, we have a little bit of peeling from time to time, and I guess this is because mohair parts of Pascuali yarn are not so long, and that's why they're not so long, and that's why they might not save your soft yarn from peeling, and they may not prevent peeling so much, which is a little bit surprising for me, and I really didn't expect to see such difference, because before that I haven't noticed. I just put this cardigan to show it to you, and really I see that I need to depeel one sleeve, the black one, and blue one I don't need to depeel. So you can see those two mohairs in real life, in action, how they work together and how they prevent from peeling. As this mohair is much pricier than Tilia, I'm not sure that I would go with this one, to be honest. Like, for the next time, I think that for this price I may find some yarns that will be a little bit better, a little bit softer, because this is not the softest mohair that I've ever tried, honestly. So that's how I feel about that one. I have another one with the same meterage and the same composition, 40-60, 40% of silk, 60% of mohair, and this one is Lamana Premia, and this is also soft silk mohair with the same yardage as Pascuali Bliss. The only difference for me, this one is much softer. I have knitted a full kinda garment with this yarn, and also I've paired it with really soft combo yarn, so I can show you how it looks like on that one. I've knitted like 2 garments with this one, and one of the garments that I've knitted is fully mohair one with 2 strands of yarn, and I wear it over here on my chest without, from time to time, without nothing, and it can be just a little bit prickly when I'm getting too warm, but not drastically. So I would say that this one is much softer than Pascuali, only and still keep its first place for now. As for the color itself, you can see that there are tons of white silk, so I would be really careful with this yarn, choosing it for some bright colors. Black one is almost as dark as Pascuali one, but this one has a lot of undyed parts of silk, and once again this is similar for a lot of yarns, because silk and mohair takes up dye in a little bit different way. Would I use this one again? For sure. I'm thinking about knitting myself second cumulus blouse, and this one possibly can be the one that I may use. No, for hats I won't use this one, but for a full mohair garment it can be nice. It sheds not too drastically, but you can get some sheds. But while I'm talking, some of blue yarns is flying over here and transitioning from one ball to another, so I can definitely tell you that this one, Tynn silk, sheds probably that Sandnes Garn Tynn silk sheds the most from all of those that I have. And I think that's it that I can share with you about Premia. About Premia. And because this yarn has 25 grams and 300 meters, for a little bit higher price you will get a little bit more yardage. The choice is yours, but this one I can recommend. let's go to another blue. Probably you can get, you know, like my theme. Moody, dark, bright colors. So this is Kashmir Mohair from Önling No. I would say that this is kinda a new brand. I know that they're on the market for probably a year or two, or maybe 2 years. No, I think that they started selling yarn like a year ago. Others, I think, are more mature on this market. So this mohair has a little bit more interesting content. Let me find you. Oh yeah, this is 49% of mohair, 36% of silk, and 15% of cashmere. Honestly, I didn't get a lot of difference with Tilia, so not sure that you may feel cashmere over here. That's my honest opinion, really. If you've tried this one and you felt difference with other mohairs, please let me know in the comments below. I need to know what is the difference outside of price, because this one is also on a little bit more expensive side. This one feels soft to the neck, but it can be crinkly as usual when you get a little bit warm. And my shoulders, when I wear it for like several hours, I really want to scratch them. And when I wear this cardigan, knitted with this yarn close to my shoulders, without anything, like, you know, for example, this top covers almost all my shoulder, but if I will wear top with thinner straps, there will be some place on my shoulders, and this yarn may scratch it a little bit. So not a perfect one. This one has 25 grams and 210 meters. Also big amount of colors. As for shedding, it sheds. Like I can easily get a lot of yarn and a lot of mohair from it without need to pull it too much to get this yarn. I can't say anything yet about how nicely this one will wear, or how not nicely it will wear, because I just recently finished cardigan with this yarn, so we'll have to wait. But maybe someone in the comments will tell you about wearability and you can find something useful for you regarding this yarn. But really, I cannot say that I feel cashmere here and a lot of difference. Yes, it's soft, but this one is soft. Where's my ball of Önling? This one's soft. This one from Önling doesn't have cashmere. This one has, and I would say this one is even is a little bit crinkly. This one isn't, so not sure that you need to overpay. The next one that I have for you, this is Kremke Silky Kid. This is their Silky Kid. This one is the gray one. Sorry, I'm forgetting from time to time to tell you colors. So colors will be mentioned in comments, and I hope that they will be over here if my husband would add them during editing of this video. You should definitely put like to this video, because my husband really does a lot of great job while he's editing those videos. So let's get back to yarn. What about dyeing? As you can see, we have some shine, but I would say that color of mohair and color of silk is almost the same, so he dyed it nicely. But as usual, it can be not for every color. I knitted cardigan with this one, sweater. I haven't worn the tone, so I cannot say how it wears. As you can see, this one sheds not too much, but it sheds much bigger, but it sheds much more than other mohairs that I've showed to you. Like, I would say that Premia sheds less than this one. This one has 72% of mohair and 28% of silk. and there is also 210 meters. So if you compare, for example, to Premia or to Pascuali yarn, they have much bigger yardage. As for softness, it's not so soft. I can wear it as a sweater, but not like a hat, or I would say that even mitten could be too harsh for my liking. And as a last one that I want to talk to you, I have probably one of the most, I cannot say popular, but I would say that this is mohair that everyone talks about, because this is Isager silk mohair. This is 75% mohair, 25% silk, 25 grams, 212 meters. So I would say this is kind of like a rule over here. We have a lot of such yardage. As for silk cord and mohair color, I would say that they have probably the biggest difference in color of silk and mohair itself, because they even have colors when you can see much bigger difference between silk and mohair, which can be nice for some projects, but for some projects it might not be so cool. But some of them I find nice. They are one of like brownish colors, which has like even a little bit of a contrast, but it looks nicely. This one I bought only one wool to try, and I've knitted bonnet with it with Isager Jensen, and Isager Jensen wasn't my yarn. I'm not sure that I will go, that I would need something other than outerwear, or maybe something that I can wear long sleeve underneath. But mohair feels still really soft. It's price and Polish zloty, so don't be afraid of it. And I'm thinking about knitting cumulus blouse, maybe with this one or with this one. So I still haven't decided within Premia and Isager, but when I took both of them in my hands, I feel that this one is softer. I think that I would go with this one. It's a little bit prickly. This is a little bit strange, because Premia to my neck feels a little bit... No, it feels the same. Yeah, it feels the same. But for my hands and for amount of fluff, this one has a lot of fluff. Yes, it will shed. So probably I cannot knit something like... Okay, it sheds too much. Probably if I would go for cumulus blouse with this yarn, I won't use any light color, because I have several trousers, like I have trousers and skirt in black, so this mohair will be all over them. And with shedding, I think that, yeah, Premia is much better for me, so this is our option for cumulus blouse, because it doesn't shed so much. So that was it. This is my collection of yarns. I really hope that you enjoyed this video to get some useful information for you, and especially about how much fluff you'll get around your apartment after knitting with these yarns. If you've tried any of them, let me know how it was for you, and please let me know what you're knitting currently. I'm really interested about your needs, and see you in the next video. Have a nice knitting time.